Hey everyone, it's Brenna with Shoot Franklin. I finally have a chance to do this Watermark tutorial for you. It would have been really bad earlier because my son was talking about cookies the whole time in the background. So hopefully this will be a little bit easier for me and for you to listen to. Alright, so first of all, to get started, we're going to make a watermark real quick. I've already opened up a new file. I've made it whatever size I wanted to. And then I made sure it had the transparent background, because you need to make sure it has a transparent background so that when you place it on your image, obviously there won't be any white or whatever. So I'm just going to do some type, and you can do whatever you want. There's plenty of examples that you can do. You can look at other people and see kind of what they do. I say that type is the best because, like I told somebody earlier, if you have a watermark that's too pretty, people actually think that's cool too, and they think it's, you know, part of the picture or whatever. So I try to make mine not that pretty, but not obtrusive necessarily to the image. Okay, so obviously, you know, you want to pick out the kind of font you want and all that, and your size. As far as color goes, I prefer to do a gray color. I don't really like to go all the way black. I just like to pick a gray and go from there. But you feel free to do whatever color you want. Okay, and then if you don't know how to make a copyright symbol on a PC, it's Alt, and then on your number key thing, it's 0169. On a laptop, if you don't have the extra number keypad, then you have to hold down, if your keys are in the middle, then you have to hold down Function Alt 0169, and it'll pop up for you after you let go. And then just type in whatever you want. I'll just make this short just for this. Okay. Shorten this up. Okay, so this will be good enough for what we're doing. Then you want to do is, after you get it made, you want to save it. And you want to save it to a place that is going to be where it's going to stay, because when you make your action, it's going to pull from that same folder. So you don't want it to be in a place where it's going to get moved around or anything like that. So basically, once you have it saved, it needs to be where it's going to stay until, you know, you don't use it anymore. I save mine as a PSD file just because it makes it easier, because you want to make sure your transparent part of your image remains and doesn't, if you save it as a JPEG or anything, it's gonna obviously end up having a white background, so we don't want to do that. Okay, so it's been saved. We're gonna go ahead and make our action. So just to make your action, let's just pull a picture up. I've got this one that I used for the blog, and I have a default actions folder, which everybody kind of has. It comes with some actions that are horrible, but I put all of my own actions that I make in that folder too. So now we're going to go right here next to the trash can. There's a create new action button. You're going to click that, name it whatever you want, and then make sure it's in the right set. Mine's on default actions, and then you hit record. Now once you hit record, it's recording everything that you do, so you want to make sure you're doing as few steps as possible so that it doesn't take forever to run the action. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to go to File and scroll down to Place. And then you want to go and locate your watermark PSD that we just saved. And then click on it and then click Place. And it's going to automatically place it onto your image for you. Once it does that, if you notice, this is really small. So once it does this, I'm going to go ahead and make it larger, because I know that more than likely for all my images it's going to need to be larger. And I clicked up here, the little chain link there for the maintain aspect ratio. I want to make sure it doesn't get distorted or anything. And then this will do is I'm going to click enter and let it adjust itself back. Now after this, I like to go ahead and decide kind of what I'm going to do with it. Sometimes I change the blending mode depending on the picture after when I'm finalizing it. But for the action itself, I like to put it on linear burn as kind of my standard one that I use. I change it around to different ones for different images. Sometimes you can use hard light's always a good one too. Let's just save this one at hard light. And then I want to reduce the opacity. I like to reduce mine to about 75. And here's the deal, is later on after you do this, when you run your action on your images, you can always adjust any of this. You can adjust the size, you can adjust the blending mode, you can adjust the opacity, because we're not going to merge it down. Basically, this is the end of the action. So when we're done, after we've adjusted our opacity and the blending mode the way we want to, we just hit stop. And that's it. Our action's done. So now what we're going to do is start over. So to make sure your action works, you want to check it. So just go back to your original image that didn't have a watermark on it. You'll see your watermark action. Press play and make sure that it does what it's supposed to. And it should just place your watermark on there for you. And then see, you still have it here where you can change your blending modes if you want. And you can change your opacity if you want. And if you need to make it a different size, and you just transform, Control T, just transform, move it all around however you want to, move it wherever you want to, make it bigger, smaller, and then go on about your business, and then you can merge visible and save for the web. So anyway, super easy. I hope this makes sense. I try to make it as quick as possible, and I am excited to see what kind of watermarking activity is going on in the next few days.